Hey Carp Geeks, how's it going, as they say? You joined me about a week or so after our latest Carpology video dropped. And in this video, as I'll show you in a moment, the guys from Carpology took Impulse to a well-stocked water. They fished it exactly as we recommended, and they had some outstanding results. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll show you the video, and then at the end I'll come in with some comments. So see you on the backside.
In today's video, you join Luke and I down at a busy day to get water, where we're putting some new bits of kit from Biosource through their paces. Well, this is certainly a better start than what I thought we were going to have. Let's get this little guy back, and then Luke and I will have a good sit down and give you guys a rundown of why we're here and what we're doing. Oh, he's on a mission!
Well, we are desperately trying to tell you exactly what we're doing here, but it's been a little bit ridiculous. We've fish just seem to be flying out at the moment. There's one, and then here is the second one. We put a load of bait out and ended up with a double take very quickly afterwards, but hopefully we can have a little bit of calm and we can tell you what we're doing here.
Well, this is getting a bit ridiculous now. I've lost count of how many fish that I've had, but they are all coming off of the baited spot, which it's a bit of an eye-opener. Now, I know this is a proper runs water, but even when I've been down here previously, I've certainly not had this many takes in a day. Let's get this one netted, get him on the mat and have a quick look at him, and then we'll get him back. Okay, well, I know I said I was going to put him on the mat, but there's no point stressing out another little comment. I'm just going to lift him up out of the net so you guys can have a quick look, and then he'll probably beat me up, and then I'm going to let him go. Oh no, that was terrible.
And breathe. Well, this has been, it's beeping already. This has been pretty full on since we've got here, haven't we?
Yes.
But to try and catch you guys up, we are at East Lake in Chichester. It's a known runs water, and runs water it has been.
It certainly has been. It has been frantic, shall we say. But that is exactly why we're here. We wanted a venue with loads of fish that are hungry and up for a good bit of munch.
Yeah, because last time we went out with the Biosource stuff, we went to a 60-acre weedy lake for 24 hours and thought we could take on the world. We definitely didn't take on the world, and we both blanked. So we wanted to come somewhere like this where we can actually give it a fair chance. And yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, we've been doing all right.
Yeah.
Now, we did get here at the crack of dawn this morning, just as the sun was coming up, got rods out. But really, we just wanted to make sure that we got the spot prepped as per the guys at Biosource recommended.
Yeah, no, it is very much match style tactics, which if you've seen the horseshoe video, we kind of explained that a little bit in that as well. But it's a case of little and often is far more than chucking everything out in one go and hoping for the best. So, God, there is definitely a feed in this.
There's liners everywhere.
This is one thing we've noticed. You get a lot more liners when using this sort of method because the fish are all grubbing about in a certain area. And yeah, it's definitely causing more liners. But anyway, yeah, match style tactics, it's a case of topping that swim up all the time. So we're doing what, about 7 spoms an hour? Yeah. That's what we've kind of been basing it on. Or if we've had a fish, a couple more out, just to keep that going in and keep that stimulant working.
And the bites are thick and fast, aren't they?
The bites are very quick. On a couple of occasions already, we've had it where we've literally put some bait out, and what, 5 minutes later, it's gone?
It's gone, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say it is down to exactly what we're using, and it wouldn't happen if we weren't doing this. It's impossible to say that, but this is very much going to be a video that is open to your interpretation. And if you think it's the stimulant that has helped us catch fish, then again, that's down to you to decide, because it's hard. It is very hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah, no one knows. It's that straightforward. No one knows whether it would or wouldn't with or without it. So.
Exactly. But in the meantime, we've got to ride the storm, and whilst it's doing bites, we've got to keep at it.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think it's probably time to put out a little bit more bait again.
Yep.
And then we'll run you through how to actually dose the bait, because it's pretty straightforward, but there is a certain way of doing it. Right, well that is another 7 spoms of the good stuff. And believe it or not, today's video isn't just a jolly of me and Ian going fishing. There is substance to it, and we are doing a bit of an experiment. So we are using the stimulant from Biosource, the impulse stimulant. And yeah, like I say, it's a bit of an experiment. So when we got here earlier, we found a spot that was at quite a nice range, quite an easy fishable range. And it's about 40, 45 yards, something like that. And it's between 2 swims. The idea of this is we are baiting that spot with the dosed pellet using the impulse stimulant, and we're both having a rod on that spot. Our other rods are outside rods, if you like, the ones that are either side of that spot. We are still baiting, but with normal pellet, no dose pellet. And the experiment is to see just how well this stimulant actually performs. If it does make a difference, if it doesn't, so far, it's making quite a big difference. And like I said, the actual approach of baiting the swim is little and often. So probably about once an hour, we're going to try and put 7, 8 spoms, something like that. Just keep it going. Or if we've caught a fish, we're going to top up with a few spoms as well. And that's what we've been doing over the course of today. And we have found that there is quite a quick response to actually putting a bit of bait out. Again, we don't know, it's impossible for us to actually say this is definitively because we are putting this dosed pellet out as opposed to the other pellet, but we are doing the same on both the spot that we're fishing in the middle together and the outer spots. They're both getting the same amount of bait at the same time, and so far, like I say, we're getting a lot more bites off the dosed pellet area. So who's to say whether it's purely down to the stimulant or if it's a spot that they prefer. But we'll see what happens throughout the course of the day, if it carries on that way or if things start to even out a little bit. Well, it would appear that it's my turn, and I think it's fair to say that the spot is well and truly rocking. I haven't had a day session like this for a little while, so yeah, to be getting bite after bite, it's insane. Really enjoying this. Yeah, they're not big fish, but at the end of the day, it is nice to get a bend in the rod, and you never quite know what's going to come out of it. There's a lot of small commons, but it has been known that there's a few 30s in here and things like that. So there's every chance if we're wading through this many fish, then one of the better ones could come along. I've seen a lot of fish moving about. It does look like this is another small common, but like I say, it's good fun just getting a few bites, especially for a day session. It's always nice, isn't it?
So many times through this video, you've probably heard Luke and I mention the word dosed, and that is because that is exactly what you do. You take your standard bait or a carrier bait, and then you dose it with the Biosource Impulse liquid. So I'm going to run through a couple of their products now, just so you know exactly what they have to offer. When it comes to dosing the pellet, you work it out on a kilo by kilo basis. So basically, we've been taking a kilo of unbranded, very basic carp pellet, and then add in 30 mils of the impulse liquid to that, and that's to get the correct dosage. Now, you can't overdo this liquid, but it is scientifically designed to work at certain levels of inclusion, basically. Now, the bottle is extremely helpful with making sure that you can get that inclusion correctly. And it's quite simply a case of removing the chamber lid on the side, and then you just squeeze the bottle, and there's a little marker on there to let you know that you've got 30 mils of liquid. Obviously, you add that to your kilo of pellets, give it a good shake, and then let them stand if you wish. If not, you can use them straight away. Now, a couple of other products that the guys over at Biosource also do, which are really helpful. First of all, you've got the feed stimulant gel. Now, it's very similar to a goo type product, for want of a better word. Perfect for adding onto less porous baits. So if you're coating boilies, this is the one to do it. If you want to pop it into a solid bag, again, this is the one to do it with. I was doing that at Horseshoe, unfortunately, not to great effect, but that's not through any fault of the product. That was mine and Luke's issue, because we were most definitely not anywhere near any fish. And then finally, moving on to the Impulse Feed Stimulant paste. Now this is a very basic paste, basically to wrap your hook bait. So if you're doing any single hook bait fishing or anything like that, and you just want that extra edge, then that is perfect for this. Now if this is a little bit dry, it is shipped fairly dry, you can add a bit of the impulse liquid to it to soften it up, just to make sure you can mold it around your baits effectively. For any more information on the Biosource product, and obviously any best practice information, get in contact with the guys at Biosource. They're extremely helpful, and the doctor behind it all certainly knows his stuff.
Lovely. Well, that is our day coming to an end, and it is time to go through our findings, I guess.
Interesting findings.
Interesting findings.
They're not just any findings.
So, as you know, we were fishing 2 on a spot between us, and then we had 2 rods outside that spot. Same range, just what, 15, 20 yards either side of the spot.
Yep. Same bait.
Same bait.
Same rigs.
Same rigs.
Same tactics.
Everything was baited the same way, other than the fact we had the dosed pellet in the middle and we had normal pellet either side. We had 1 fish either side. All the rest came from the dosed pellet spot.
Yes.
Which I say all the rest, that's what, 13 others?
Yes.
I think we kind of lost count a little bit, but I think we had about 14 fish between us.
It's been hectic.
It has been very hectic. So, take that as you will. It's hard to say it hasn't worked.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, if I was on a session and these were the results I was getting,
you do that again, don't
I
you?
would do it again. Yeah, so I would 100% be moving that rod, the outside rod, onto that same.
Yeah. I mean, we can never say that if we fished in the same way without dosing the pellets, we can't say that we wouldn't have got the same results, but we also, based on our findings of fishing the spots outside of that spot, there's a strong correlation to what is different. The difference is that we were using the feed and stimulant and we caught more fish in that area.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is a pretty strong argument, to be fair.
It really is. Now, obviously on the back of the bottle it says 2 to 1, doesn't it?
It does.
I think, which is...
Is that because they couldn't say 13 to 1?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's pretty significant in itself, 2 to 1 ratio. But the ratio that we've had here for ourselves in testing
has been a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, like it really is.
So I think it's fair to say that it's been a bit of an eye-opener and it's worth a try.
Yeah, I think get hold of some yourselves if you can.
Yeah.
And just give it a go. Just have a go of it, put it into your own fishing and see what you come up with. Because if it's anything like what we've come up with here, I think you'll be mightily impressed.
Yeah. And you can find more information about all of this on the Biosource website, and I think you can order direct from them as well, can't you? So you can get it shipped out that way. And it is pretty affordable as well. Again, all the prices are online, so you can find all that there. But yeah, it's definitely, like I said, it's been an eye-opener. And I am very tired, which is why it's a bit of a flat conclusion, because it's been a very busy day and a very early start.
Yeah.
So how about that then, as they say, right? So obviously, personally, I found it quite amusing that Luke there at the end was so tired from catching so many fish. Obviously 13 fish on the impulse versus only 1 on the non-impulse baits, that he was almost too tired to talk. I mean, how much of a glowing recommendation could you have? Okay. All right, so any questions about the video, feel free to drop me a line. I'll show you my address right there. And yes, obviously when they were talking, I am quote unquote the doctor. They were talking about the inventor of the product. So if you've got any questions, feel free to let me know. Okay, see you next time.